Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I'm Steve Fall, but on today's edition, we're going to do some flips, some back flips, some sideways flips, because I'm with Ricochet. How are you today?
What's up, man? I'm feeling great. How you doing?
Doing great, but let's talk about your shirt, because it's amazing.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My God.
They're releasing GoldenEye on the Xbox. They're re-releasing GoldenEye on the Xbox soon.
I gotta go. I'm sorry. This is a great interview, but I gotta go. I gotta go play. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's good news.
It's great. It's awesome. I mean, for years, everyone's like, they should remake GoldenEye. So now I guess they're finally doing it.
Well, you know, they finally heard us crying to the heavens for more Nintendo 64 games. But
And the Switch as well. Xbox and Switch is what I was told, or what I read.
I'm sorry. Again, this is over. No, just kidding. But let's continue on, because more exciting news. The most recent episode of NXT. At the end of the program, they showcased the NXT 2.0 logo disappearing.
I saw that on.
Yes, and then suddenly appearing, it seemed to be the black and gold logo, but yet it looked a little silver and gold. And I thought I wanted to say silver and gold, but I won't. I do have the beard of Yukon Cornelius right now. But yet, how exciting is that? Because I think a lot of fans were slightly turned off when NXT turned to NXT 2.0 and they compared it to like Nickelodeon shows. And now here we are now back to the way it once was. How are you feeling about this?
Honestly, I think, again, in this business, it's forever. It doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they're just trying something new. You know, they're trying something different. And I think it was just so sudden, so quick that people didn't get a chance to really adjust. Yeah. You know, I think that was the biggest aspect, whether you thought so. But now I think it, you know, changing again, not back to what it was, but to something different, something, you know, that I feel like will be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think now they have a grasp on, you know, bringing maybe some Raw or SmackDown people in, or maybe some NXT people to Raw or SmackDown. And it really might start be, you know, something bigger. Who knows? But I think it's so cool to be thinking about the future and positive and really, you know, excited to see what will come from it.
I mean, I'm pumped. And, you know, recently, though, you were involved with NXT at Worlds Collide, taking on Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. You didn't win. That's okay. But it was definitely a match of the year candidate, in my personal opinion. I've been watching wrestling since 1992, so I think I got a little bit of a good opinion. But yet, Carmelo Hayes, people look at this guy and think of him as like the future. Should he be on Raw and SmackDown already?
I mean, yeah, I think that's the heart. Carmelo Hayes could be really Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And I think everywhere he goes, he's going to show out and show why he belongs there. So, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why he couldn't be. If, you know, Solo's walking around here doing everything, I don't see why Melo can't be doing the same thing.
You make a really good point. You make a really good point, actually. Also, though, I'm very excited because the WWE is coming back to Worcester, Mass, October 7th at the DCU Center. SmackDown, it's the night before Extreme Rules.
4 days, my birthday.
Well, early happy birthday to you, sir.
Yeah. Well,
how excited, though, are you for your birthday? And how excited are you for SmackDown coming back to Worcester?
Well, I'll be 34, so, I mean, But Worcester's going to be great. No, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, again, those areas are always fun. They're always pretty rowdy. They're always pretty excited. But no, I'm excited to come back. And every time you're able to perform anywhere, really. But, dude, Worcester's going to be popping for sure.
Of course. And some people always say it, mispronounce it because it's spelled Warchester, but no one says it like that. So I think I did an interview with Madcap Moss, and he was like, "Yeah, Warchester," and I was like, "Back up, buddy."
No, yeah. I have had that conversation. Like, how do you actually say it? And also, so my girlfriend, she's from up like Boston area, so she gave me she let me know how.
Gave you the cue cards on how to pronounce it properly. Yeah. That's nice of her. What a good girlfriend you have. Though recently, go back a few months, actually, March, you captured your first Intercontinental title, March 4th episode of SmackDown. Now, you actually have made history because you're the first person to ever win the North American Championship, the U.S. Championship, and the IC Championship. You held the belt for 98 days. Like, how important is that for you to win the IC title? And now you're in the history books as the first person to win all three of those championships.
Yeah, and that was something that I was really unaware of until I, on Twitter, found out when someone posted. I was like, oh, wow, I guess so. But that's awesome. Again, especially it being organic, it being natural, like it not being like something we planned, I think makes it even better, I think, because, again, just as somebody who didn't even get into wrestling because they didn't think they would ever be able to be in the WWE, you know, because they were so small. So to now be in the history books as far as that goes. And I feel like I have a couple more things that could go into the history book as well. But it's like, it's just crazy that it's all crazy to think that that's even possible.
Well, you know, everyone looks at the IC Championship as like the workhorse belt growing up. And then here you are now with the belt, you know, around March time. So again, that's got to be a huge, just like a.
I do like the aspect of, you know, because the everyone says it's like the workhorse championship.
Yeah.
And I think all three of those titles are kind of like, I mean, known for that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
That's something that I've always wanted to be known for.
Yeah.
Work ethic, you know, and I think every time I go out there, I try to put my all into it, and hopefully, you know, I think that relates pretty well. So it translates pretty well. So no, it's cool. It's crazy. Like, again, when I found that, I was like thinking, and it's crazy to just even think that it's even a stat that I was able to achieve. It's crazy.
You've had a very impressive win-loss record in 2022. Unfortunately, though, as the IC champion, you didn't compete on a 2-day WrestleMania event. And I know a lot of fans were upset thinking, why can't you find a spot for the IC champion on a 2-day event? Were you slightly disappointed? Because you did have a nice match on SmackDown the night before, but that's SmackDown.
No, I mean, absolutely. That was actually the third WrestleMania in a row that I haven't been a part of. And each time it just you get more angry and angry. We really do. But it also, like, at the same time, just that chip on your shoulder gets a little bigger and you just want to prove them wrong even more. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. So, like, when you get that opportunity to really show and get that, and really, like, when you get that opportunity, you just have to deliver. And so I just know, like, man, anytime I get an opportunity, like I said, if it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever the show is, main event, like, I'm like gonna knock it out the park, and I'm not gonna. It's crazy. I'm not gonna give them any doubt anymore. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So, yeah, but of course, you at the same time, there's also so many other aspects that I sit down and I have to think about that go into making the show. And so I try to stay very realistic. I really do. I try to keep myself, like, I try not to be like, well, I should be doing everything, huh? You know, I try not to be that guy as well. So I really try to stay grounded and stay realistic on all the stories, because all my friends are on it. So, like, you know what I mean? So I try to really, you know, stay in that spot too, and really understand that there's more that goes into it.
Of course. And I've never heard someone say, oh, that was a bad Ricochet match. I have never in my life heard that statement. You said, it doesn't matter. Raw, SmackDown, main event, pay-per-views, house shows. It doesn't not matter. Premium live events. There's never been a bad Ricochet match. So.
Yeah. So I think that is something that I take pride in. And it's really cool to hear that. I mean, unless you just don't like my style, then everyone's like, every Ricochet match is a bad match. You know what I mean?
I guess that's a good point. You know,
don't like it, then you're like, oh, what are you talking about? He freaking sucks.
Oh, more backflips. Yeah, right. I highly doubt anyone's saying that though. But Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see next time when you wrestle. Let's see if anyone says anything. The ratings that keep going up every week for Raw, for NXT, for SmackDown, with Triple H now running the helm of the WWE. How are you feeling about the presentation of the IC Championship, the US Championship, hell, creative in general?
I think just presentation of the championships have always been important to me. I mean, again, just from the time, like you said, around like 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, like it was all about the champion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think there will probably be, more light on those, which I think will help viewers watch it a little better and understand, okay, they're going after that. And so I think it's all going to be perceived. It's going to be a great product that's going to be put out there. I think everyone's in a new creative spirit, a new mind to just trying to think of new things. And so it's crazy to see everybody everyone you talk to is thinking about new things. And maybe it's just because everything's new and everything's changing, but I think the presentation is going to be still WWE spectacular, spectacle. The WWE spectacle, spectacular presentation, but I think it's really going to put some, more focus on the championships and being a championship driven story, or you know what I mean? Like in the UFC, they want to be the heavyweight champion, you want to be the middleweight champion, you want to be the champion. Whatever the stories are, will lean more towards kind of like that rather than the cartoony character aspect of it.
Yeah, well, don't disparage Mantar or Duke the Dumpster Drozy ever in my presence, Ricochet, all right?
You're going to have the maximum male models. You're still going to have Los Lothar. You're still going to have all guys that are still characters, are still, funny, or still have something to them that isn't just, we're still going to have those. There's going to be more. In NXT, you have Quincy's down there and Tony D'Angelo, and you have all these guys that are characters that are going to be, you know what I mean? So we're still going to focus on that. Obviously, 100%, we're going to focus on those aspects.
Yeah.
I think
my juices are titillated. The fact that you just said that. So my juices are titillated. I love Max Dupree.
Absolutely.
He's one of my favorites right now. Though I do have a writing question, because I did put out, hey, does anyone have a question for Ricochet? Obviously, we got some submissions, but this one in particular, I really enjoyed. It's from a wrestling club in Kip Amp Middle School. And these kids they are all obsessed with the WWE, and they have a club. They watch matches after it, and they love Ricochet. They love Ricochet, they told me. Here's the question. How has your love for anime helped craft your own character in the ring and your moveset that we see every week?
Oh, man. So anime has always been important to me, but when you're younger, especially at the time, it's, you're like the nerd, or you're the geek, or whatever, you know what I mean? But as you're getting older and you kind of just don't care anymore, so you kind of just do whatever you want. Absolutely. And just the story in anime is so well told. Like every anime, whether it's One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, whatever it is, the stories are always very well told, and characters, even if it's a new character they just introduced 300 episodes in, within 4 episodes, you're like, oh man, that character's awesome. 4 episodes of a 20-minute show with, and they're a D-list character, but you still, My Hero Academia does a good job of every character, whether it's All Might or it's, Froppy, every character seems pretty important.
Yeah.
Every character. And so anime does that so well. And I think that is something that I try to talk about and try to, when I'm talking to everybody here at the WWE. And I think that's something they're going to focus on, not obviously because of me, but I think they're going to focus on trying to make every character, valuable.
Yeah.
But also within anime, it's so funny because even when I'm working out or something, I'm doing whatever press, and I'm I gotta get 2 more, and I'm Goku would do 2 more for sure. Really, that was Zoro's for sure would do 2 more. So I'm like, so I literally think that in my head, and I like block everything. I think like if Goku's in the hyperbolic time chamber, you know, or if he's wherever he's at, he would just do 1 more. You know what I mean? I think about that all the time. Or even when I'm in the ring, actually in the ring doing the match, I think like Spider-Man. I think like there's in the first movie when like the building falls on him near the end before he fights the Vulture, and he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man," and he's like trying to lift the whole building. But so I'll think that in my head. I'm like, "Come on, Ricochet." I'll think stuff like that in my head. Like I really do, you know, like, you know, I know if Naruto's getting beat, he's still going to get up. He's still going to come back. And, you know, I think about those things all the time, like whether it's to help me emotionally in the story or to help me, you know, a facial feature that I need to do. I think about anime all the time, actually.
Well, there you go. So your answer definitely is going to be received with applause from the wrestling club at Kip Amp. So I thank them for that, because they've been saving a lot of money to go to WrestleMania, and they have almost reached their goal to get to WrestleMania. So very exciting stuff there. So shout out to the wrestling club. I know the 6th graders will really enjoy you responding to their question, because, you know, you're again a superhero to them, and so thank you for that. But moving on though, who will defeat Roman Reigns for both championships, and why is it The Rock?
Yeah, I mean, because The Rock is just the best in the world, and I guess that's obviously like, who else is it gonna be? You know what I mean?
The Bloodline, head of the table. Like, who? This table is very large, and many members are joining it right now. But I think The Rock has his own table that he was like, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, Roman's on a freaking roll right now. I'd like to get my hands on him too. I think I know Roman's Roman, but I ain't never gonna say nobody gonna beat me. I ain't never gonna say that. You ain't never gonna find that. So, but I mean, The Rock is just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. What can you say?
Yeah, he is going to be our president someday. That's what you have to say. And he's going to someday we're going to be like sitting here and be like, "Oh, man, that time he beat Roman Reigns for both championships at WrestleMania, and also he's the president." But you know, we'll have to see when that happens.
Doing anything he wants to do. If that's what he wants to do, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, I hope it does. We all wait. But one more question before we wrap up. Survivor Series is also coming to Boston, November 26th. I'm very excited. I love traditional Survivor Series matches, like my favorite thing in the world. But if you were a team captain of your own team in Survivor Series, pick 3 wrestlers, past or present, doesn't matter, live or dead, who would be on your team. It doesn't have to be a wrestler. I asked Theory this question, and he said Iron Man. So,
I mean, if we're picking anybody, I'm picking Hulk, Thor, and Superman.
Well, and you just won, and you just beat the Bloodline at Survivor Series.
But I mean, you have to go like Randy Orton, isn't he? Like at the most Survivor Series, isn't he close?
He's very close.
I think I would have to go, man.
It's a hard question, I know.
Probably Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. I have to. I'm trying to think good Survivor Series team.
Just throw in Papa Shango. He'll put curses on people.
Oh, yeah. Give me Papa Shango.
So there you go. Ricochet, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and Papa Shango are going to defeat the Bloodline at Survivor Series in Boston, November 26th, though. But again, like I said before, SmackDown is coming here October 7th, the night before Extreme Rules. I'm pumped. You're pumped. We're all pumped. Ricochet, thank you so much for being here in NBC's 10 Count. I really appreciate talking to you. And again, those kids in that wrestling club are really going to enjoy that you answered their question. So making dreams come true is what a WWE superstar does, and you just did it. So I thank you for that.
No problem. Absolutely. I was going to tell them, man, never stop watching, never stop doing what you love, because, you know, one day, like, what you love will be able to put a roof over your head. What you love will be able to, you know, sustain what you want to do. So don't ever stop doing, watching, listening, creating what you love, because that's, you know, that's what it's all about.
Damn straight. Well, thank you again for being here on NBC's 10 Count. I've been Steve Fall. He's been Ricochet. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Remember, SmackDown, October 7th. Be there or be square. Boop. Bye.